Mast track position to boom height, I think again it comes back to equipment. Obviously all boards trim differently, and obviously if you have your mast track too far back, you're not going to be able to sheet the sail in and close the sail off on the deck. So you want to have your track further forward sometimes, and that gives you control. It allows you to sheet the sail in. When you get overpowered, you get control of that. Put it too far forward, you're going to be hitting the deck with the sail, and that's not good either. So it's a happy medium.
Anyway, I think if you're about my height, maybe even shorter, 5'8", 5'6", you want to drop your boom probably lower than what you would normally do in light winds. That allows you to that creates less lift on the board. Doesn't allow you to lift the nose of the board up as much. It also lowers the center of gravity, and you're able to keep things together. So you really want to go for speed, and using a smaller fin, that's also going to allow you to keep the board down and really go for speed and generate some of the lift through speed and not just by the amount of fin that you have. And don't be afraid to open up that footstrap stance, especially in strong winds. So the whole trick is to keep the hammer down, to stay sheeted in as long as possible, and that'll allow you to be competitive against the bigger, taller guys.
I've sort of switched my boom height over the years depending what kind of board I'm riding. I used to be really high, and then I went pretty low, and now I'm, I think, pretty much the same as everybody else. It really depends what kind of rockers you run in, and I liked my mast position a little further forward than most guys and a higher boom. So I'd be riding with more mast rake. And if it's really windy, I still do that. I feel I have better control if I triangulate the power a bit better and get the mast base further forward on the board. You've got tree trunk legs and you're super strong and big like Bjorn or Torp Christensen. You can bring the mast base way back, sail real vertically, and still somehow stay in control when you're totally maxed out. I need to get a little bit bigger triangle between my boom height, mast, and fin to go fast and maintain it for a long time.
For high wind sailing compared to light wind sailing, what I do is change down to a smaller fin, move the track forward. One thing I've been trying lately too is just spread my foot strap stance. So that helps quite a bit with control in high winds. That's the main thing, is just balancing the fin size, the amount of lift generated by the fin with the amount of lift that's generated by the board, and keeping it down in a controllable way.
Race? How do you decide?
I asked Phil. It seems like you just see which, now with formula it's really a lot easier to make a decision because there's only 3 sizes that you got, and the gaps are pretty big, so usually there's a set wind range for your big sail, set wind range for your, where you can kind of see, oh, it's definitely this.
My biggest sail I've been using is 11.6, and the difference between formula and slalom is when you get into slalom, you're reaching only, and you're on the fastest point of sail possible, so you don't need that extra sail area, whereas in formula you need the sail size to get upwind and to get downwind. And slalom, it's much more efficient to have a smaller sail. For instance, in 15 knot slalom I'll be on a 7-meter sail or 7.5-meter sail, whereas 50 knots in formula I'll probably still be on my 11